Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
I suck, you suck, I suck at Call of Duty.
Welcome to the Not Playing Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Patrick Kane
and Adam Scott. Hello.
You can contact us on email at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. Have we all augmented our pre-orders?
No, I'm going to come down here and stick something hard and spike it up your bottom, and it won't be attached to me. I can tell you that.
Oh, it's awful, isn't it? So basically, in an act of utter contemptibleness, Square Enix have decided to create some kind of bastard hybrid of Kickstarter and pre-ordering for Deus Ex Mankind Divided. The idea being that they're going to kind of crowd fund their way into getting you to pre-order the game.
It's so cynical, this.
So they've got like multiple tiers. It starts off with like different skins that you can choose, and it goes all the way up. If enough people back it or pre-order it, they'll release the game 4 days early.
Ooh.
So I just think...
But is that just to people that pre-ordered it, or is that to everybody?
No, it's to everyone, I think.
Wow, that's very generous. But the thing is, the augments. I had a look at this this deal. If only I could make really large air quotes come across. But I think it's I think the first tier is supposed to be about tailoring the bonuses you get in game is about the kind of gameplay you have. So you got a stealthy kit, a more aggressive combat kit, and then a classic kit, which is a mixture of both. But obviously by choosing one, it means that you won't get either of the two others. And if they are being reserved as pre-order bonuses, it means that anyone who doesn't pre-order is not going to get them as well. And I think, I've got a real issue with pre-order bonuses. I don't, the thing is, if there is a game that I know I'm going to play anyway, then I might pre-order if I think there's something in there that will give the game a bit of fluff in there. But I hate the idea of pre-ordering in general. I think it's really bad for the industry.
Me too, man.
I know we've talked about this on the podcast a number of times, but this is really taking it to a new level because, okay, with pre-ordering you normally get like sometimes you get lots of physical stuff, like a little figurine or an art book or something, and that's all cool if you like that shit. But when you start carving off bits of the game, I think level 3, the third tier, is an exclusive mission that you can't do unless you pre-order.
Yeah.
And this mission is about finding out who actually planted the bomb in the train station. That's forming a heavy part of the game's marketing and is drawing people into the game. It's there was a lot of the videos that were done on previous shows show this scene where there's a bomb at the station and Adam Jensen gets blamed for it, and that's actually a massive plot point which you're not going to get resolved unless you pre-order, and I think that's pretty awful, to be honest. But I don't really know how. Other than I know there's been a lot of disquiet on the interwebs about this, and rightly so, because most people have seen through this as being the cynical cash grab that it is. I don't know how they can really get away with it. I really don't.
Well, I don't think they are really, because looking on the site now, deusex.com/augment your pre-order, they still haven't reached the second tier. So I think the backlash for this has been sufficient to discourage fans of the game from doing it.
Yeah, but the other tier stuff is really releasing the game 4 days early. Okay, well maybe but it's only 4 days. It's not, the mission I'm really pissed off about. The rest of the stuff is kind of subsidiary.
Yeah, it's just physical
junk,
packing nonsense.
You can get some of the 6 tracks from the original soundtracks. Like, well, okay, I'll just wait till it comes out on Spotify. Thanks.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? But the principle is really apparent, and I really hope that they learn from this, or other people learn from how much this sullies you as a brand. But maybe they just don't care. I think we just got to get the word out to stick it to the man and don't fall for his shenanigans.
Well, that's why I mentioned it, really. just wanted to spread the message. Do not pre-order.
Do not pre-order. Wait till it's in the Steam sale. Show them a fucking lesson.
Yeah, and it's just a shame because it taints the brand, and I think it's probably going to be an excellent game if the first or the last one was anything to go by. Yeah. I absolutely love Deus Ex. I was so happy when I heard about this new game coming out. The only bugger is it's coming out the exact same day as Mirror's Edge, so don't know what to do. Well, I will get this. It just means I'll probably end up just buying both. Damn it! if Mirror's Edge turns out to be any good, I don't know.
Wow.
But are you going to buy the Uncharted Collector's Edition?
No, I'm not. No. But yeah, they announced the release date for... they also announced the release date for Deus Ex. So Deus Ex is out on it's February the 23rd, I believe. I might have to double check that. Hang on.
Well, it doesn't matter
because
no one's going to pre-order it anyway. So just wait till it's released, and just keep checking Steam.
Yeah, well, it might end up being the 19th though, if they manage to get their way.
Honest. But they'll just game it, won't they? Because it's interesting how they've said, "Oh, this is the 5th tier," but they haven't said anywhere how many pre-orders qualify for each tier. So they can really game the system, can't they? And make it look like they're more successful than they were, and then the pre-order backlash didn't happen. They could just lower the level so it looks like that they're giving away all this stuff that doesn't really cost them anything.
They might do it anyway, just to get out of the way of Mirror's Edge. Cause
they might.
That wouldn't surprise me.
But I think they will say that they've done better than they have, and I think that's why they didn't release what the actual pre-order figures were. I think it's really disgusting though that they're trying to encourage people to encourage their friends to go and do it, so to get all these rewards. That's really preying on the people that are just preying on the gaming industry. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, me and Jim Sterling.
Yeah. Yeah. So February, March is going to be a fairly busy time because we've got the release of Uncharted 4, which is the 18th of March. So that's coming out. We're in a host of different versions, all of which have like an insane amount of extra stuff.
It did my head in trying to read through all those different
pre-order packages.
Just nonsense. Just a bunch of nonsense.
God, it was like Evolve all over again.
Go away.
What's the multiplayer bit? Has there been multiplayer on previous Uncharted games?
Yeah, since the second one.
Oh, okay. Displaying my ignorance yet again.
It's all right. I mean, it's perfectly fine.
Is it PvP or is it co-op?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it is PvP. There was some co-op stuff in the second one, and the third one had quite an extensive competitive multiplayer stuff. So
these pre-order bonuses then are about pre-order and get bonuses so you can nail your opponents in PvP games.
You're just paying for extra fluff, really.
But isn't there like legendary weapons and armour and extra credits and shit like that?
They're just skins. I don't think you get any significant advantage. It's just like, it's Uncharted 4, don't you want this delightful box?
Well, the game is... Oh, I don't know.
I'll just download it.
Fine, okay.
Well, no, I probably won't on PlayStation, actually. If I do have one by then. Like I said, I'm waiting for the Uber Uncharted 4 bundle that comes with the PS4 as well, because I kind of got it in my head anyway that I was going to get one next year, and I think this will probably be the one that makes me get involved.
Well, I'm whipping my children to perform well at school. They have a number of very strenuous targets to hit, but I'm whipping them because if they hit them, then
stretch goals.
They do get stretch goals. There'll be a PS4 if they hit their certain targets. If they do extra special,
ruthless.
they will. I'm going to take the right lead from crowdfunding and give them stretch goals for extra games. Not going to say, well, if you do really well, you could have Minecraft or you could have Skylanders. You choose. It's going to be one of. There's going to be multiple tiers, you see, but done properly.
So there's a decision path as well.
There is no. Well, yeah. Well, there is. Work hard, or you don't get it. That's the decision path.
Or Daddy just plays The Last of Us.
No, I can't though. I can't. If they don't hit their targets, I can't. Santa's not going to bring the PS4. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I have to leave it at work.
Yeah, that's right. Oh well. Yeah. One game that won't be coming out this year and is coming out around that same time is XCOM 2. I'm kind of quite pleased that they've delayed this because it was coming out literally like the week after Fallout 4. And yeah, my attention would be very divided. It's shaping up to be really good though. It's PC exclusive, which is interesting. I'm guessing it didn't do very well on console. It's
Bit
not
too
that
fiddly.
kind of game, is it? Yeah. Even though I did actually play it on Xbox 360, the first one. That was the first time I played it. It worked really well with the controller. I'm sure it'll work much better with a mouse.
Yeah.
But, yeah, looking forward to this. The way they're subverting it all. I like the idea. The thing that I like about this the most is that it's based on the conceit that you failed in XCOM 1.
Yeah.
So the aliens have invaded, and you are now an outcast resistance group.
I think it's awesome. I'm looking forward to playing it, definitely.
Yeah, they're adding extra layers into the game. I think they're going to put a lot more variety into the maps. I think some of the maps are going to be procedurally generated to avoid repetition because, as great as the first game was, there were like 10 maps. And when you're doing like hundreds of different missions, it did get a little bit samey.
But they moved the trees around a bit.
Yeah, and they changed the angle that you came in at, so you'd be playing a mirror of it, and different shit would happen. The terrain was destructible, so you'd find that buildings that you were using before were not there, and stuff. But yeah, fantastic game. I played the hell out of XCOM on my phone as well. They did a really good port of both the first game and its sort of standalone expansion. But I was never very good at it because I insisted when I replayed it that I'd do it on Iron Man, so I was like not saving. So like I would level up these dudes and then they'd just die and it would be like, no!
Man, that would give me an aneurysm playing that on Iron Man. Definitely.
Yeah. But you just have to let go and, and just experience it.
But I can't. I spent ages choosing those soldiers' nicknames and then having them die in the next mission. It's, absolutely disgusting. Can't be done.
Yeah. Oh well. There's been quite a bit of news about Star Citizen lately, but they did actually get something out the door.
Yay.
Apparently the social module is now live. I don't really know what that means, so I'm glad you're here, Adam.
Don't look at me. I've kind of dropped off the Star Citizen hype trail. I mean, it was just I got very excited about it at the beginning and probably bought one Starship too many. I bought 3. There I've said it. 2 fighters and a freelancer. They have been struggling, but I think that the main thing they're struggling with is the fact that they have been so open with the development process, and the fact is that they are, regardless of what the bitching and whining is on the forum, they are conveying more information about the development process than any other developer I've ever heard of during the development of any game.
It is insane.
It is ridiculous. There's like 2 weekly video diaries. There is newsletters that go out to certain levels of backers. There are, the Chris Roberts is constantly doing things. I was reading an article about it, and it's like, the man hasn't taken a day off in 3 years because he's trying to drive this into the ground. It's a huge
He had to be
project.
Taken to hospital or something, didn't he? To get some rest.
He was forced into a hotel room to go and sleep at one point.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, there is an argument saying he's created a rod for his own back, and a number of people have said that some of the project management decisions he's made have been dubious. But it's a huge project, and it's something that he's trying to get out the door. I'm certainly not fanboyish about Star Citizen. I haven't actually loaded up Arena Commander in months, but I know it. But it will get here. It will happen, and I think people's expectations perhaps through no fault of their own, have been whipped up into a frenzy, and it doesn't help the fact that they've consistently slipped on delivery dates and so on. But there was a very good point made that most Kickstarters, once they receive the requisite funding, or they basically go into blackout, and you very rarely hear. You might get the odd newsletter once every 6 months or something, and Star Citizen is kind of being a victim of its own transparency in many ways, because they're promising things, running into bugs because of the ambition of the project that they're doing, and it's pushing the whole schedule back, and it's bloody difficult. I've enough difficulty coordinating the developers on the in the two teams that I've got. I mean, and there's nowhere near as complicated as what they're doing. I wouldn't want to be in there at all. It must be a pretty stressful place to work at. But they'll get there. I think they're still aiming to get the Squadron 42 because they're going to do that episodic, the single player portion of that.
That makes sense. I don't think there's a date on that one at the moment.
No, but they were kind of hoping to get it out. When I last checked it, they're hoping to get it out towards the end of this year. I think they're pushing that back a couple of months, but they're still hoping to get it out before the end of quarter 2, 2016, I think. Which, look, as far as I'm concerned, it's coming. When it arrives, it'll arrive, and I'll get a bit more excited about it then.
Yeah, I think the social module stuff is kind of supposed to be like the connective stuff between. It's like an area for you to kind of hang out in.
Yeah, I think
to get from the hangar to.
It is, because
some of the FPS stuff
in the game. I mean, you've got to think in the game you'll be able to fly your spaceship down, get out your spaceship, walk through the thing. It's like it's like going from the hangar in Star Wars: The Old Republic, and going off into the whole thing, but then not having any kind of cutscene or cinematic. You get straight the ship up, straight off. So, and I think the social model is supposed to be like the bar and the shops and stuff where you can buy other equipment and all the rest of it. So, well. Keep at it, Chris. We'll check in with you later.
Yeah, another space game that's just come out of Kickstarter. I think it's just made its Kickstarter. It's called Everspace. It's by Rockfish Games. I think they're a German developer, and they were responsible for some of that game called Galaxy on Fire, which was on iOS. It was quite a cool looking sort of space game on the iPhone, iPad. But yeah, this game looks really great. They're optimizing it for VR, and it just looks like a really kind of immediate sort of space game. Like, it's really polished visuals.
What
being
platform
developed.
is this for?
Yeah,
it's VR, so it must be PC.
It's PC.
Yeah, it's PC. It's a Kickstarter.
Yeah,
it's got like a really kind of bright, vivid, colourful sort of look to it, isn't it? It's a bit similar, I guess, to Eve Valkyrie.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely gorgeous looking game.
Yeah, if they can pull that off, playing that, it just looks like so slick.
Yeah.
And just interesting, like the debris and stuff that you're flying through.
There's the cool scenes in the video where they're going through like an asteroid field, and there's like crashed spaceships and stuff, and there's like these really cool light shards that are coming through and stuff. Like, I've never seen stuff look like that before. It looks amazing. Like, really interesting environments, which is cool, because obviously in space it's often all about space, and you're essentially navigating around a skybox with a couple of distant objects on it. So stuff like this, where it's really, really busy, is really cool.
It just gives you a better sensation of movement.
I noticed.
Exactly.
I noticed that the video. Oh, so I just jumped ahead in the video, and there was lots of the camera was behind the ship rather than in the cockpit. I wondered how that was going to work in a VR environment. Does it make a difference?
You just choose.
You can do third person VR, but I don't know if you'd necessarily want to in a game like this.
Yeah, they're just stressing that it's not a simulation like a lot of these big space games are.
I think you just have to look at it to tell that it's much more. It's much more shootery.
Yeah,
proper sim, but it looks like a lot of fun. Do you think that might be? Do you think this is going to be PC only, or are they going to try and do like Gear VR or something? They've got this pedigree for mobile devices, but it looks too nice for that.
It looks a little too nice for something like Gear VR, but who knows, really?
Yeah, I think they're aiming high end.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
but it's going to have non-linear storytelling, and it's going to be a roguelike. So I guess the idea is, permadeath, but
Awesome.
you'll kind of upgrade your stuff or something. I don't know. But looks really good. What else we got here? Guild Wars 2 has gone free to play. Still not going to play it.
No, me neither.
But interestingly, they're not going to charge anyone for the base game now. So that, like, true to their original pitch, like you only ever had to buy the game, and there was never a subscription attached to Guild Wars. And now they're just giving everyone access to the base game. I imagine they must have an add-on coming out very soon. That seems to make sense. I've never played Guild Wars 2. I like the idea of it, though. My big problem with MMOs is the subscription usually, because I just feel compelled to play that and nothing else because I'm paying through the nose for it.
Yeah.
At the other end of the scale, we've got a problem with a game that's just too short, according to some. Trine 3. There's been a lot of people upset with the length of the game.
Why? They're not charging $60 for it, are they?
No, they're not. People were so upset that Frozen Byte, who make the game, responded with an official apology, just saying that they've been too ambitious trying to move from 2D to 3D, and so they weren't able to deliver as much content as they wanted to in the final game.
Okay, but
so
I have a bit of an issue with. If the game has been released and there are clearly bits missing from it, that's completely understandable why there's so much anger from it. If it's clearly not finished, then by all means have a rage. If you buy a game and you pay less than the standard AAA price for it, all these indie games are out there for various price points, and a lot of them are 6, 4, 3, 12 hours, whatever. I don't know how long is Trine then. What's the?
It's apparently 6 to 7 hours.
6-7 hours. I don't know. I don't know what they were pitching the price at, but it was considerably less than a full priced game that you pay for more than that, isn't it?
They dropped it. I think apparently it went out at I think it was originally $25, and now it's $19.79. Sorry, I'm not sure what that is in pounds off the top of my head because I'm loading up my wish list to find out.
No,
but
14-15 quid or something.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That doesn't seem. It depends if it's good quality. If that's a great quality 6 hours of gameplay, and it looked lovely when we looked at all the stuff. Have you played it, Pat? Because you were quite interested.
Yeah, I think I only played about 2, maybe 3 hours, and I enjoyed all of it. Yeah. So I haven't finished it, so I don't really know what's up with the ending. But yeah, like I said, I love the Trine games. They're amazing. Yeah. The first 2 ones, they're just what they do. They are perfect. Those are perfect games. And it is a bit of a shame that their ambition of trying to do something a bit different with the third one ended with them overstretching their workload. But it is as far as I'm aware, at least, a good game.
According to the How Long to Play website, or howlongtobeat.com rather, Trine 1 was 7.5 hours, Trine 2 was 9.5 hours, and Trine 3 is only 5.5. So I guess people are kind of we're expecting the games to get progressively bigger.
Yeah, I suppose.
And
I suppose
it's actually the smallest one.
It's down on the trend, isn't it? I suppose. Well, I can understand why there was some disappointment. I mean, maybe they should have pitched the pricing a bit better for it. But clearly they felt like they had something to apologise for, and they did what they did. I think it is a bit of a shame if it means that they're not going to do any more games because they're feeling a bit burned by it. But if it's good quality content, then maybe they can. I think they said that they weren't going to do any more. They released everything that they were going to release or something, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, that's a shame because it looked like a lovely game. I guess.
To be honest,
like most games, I'll wait till it's £3 a Steam sale and pick it up.
Well, yeah, I've got the first two, and I still haven't played them yet, but I do intend to, and I intend to play this one too. And to hell with it. I don't care if it's 5.5 hours. I played Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. I think I paid £15 for that, and it was still like a really fun, like 7 hours or whatever. I spent most of a week playing it. It was fucking fine. I don't care.
I think the difference is you people have a different value that they assign to their game time, and I think it's people. I think some people have this kind of calculation that I spend X amount of pounds, therefore it should be this amount of time in length, and I think that's an incorrect attitude in many cases.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
I would much rather, I know we kind of talked about open world games in the past, but open world games seems to be the standard for AAA these days, which is a real killer for me. And those ones are 60, 70 quid, for some of these games. I think there's a huge market for games that are more like 25, 30 quid and half the length, but really tightly narrative content. And I would be so into that. AAA standards, but then you can push them out in half the time because you haven't got to fill them up with all this fucking open world bloat. Just give me a tightly scripted narrative game and let me enjoy a story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have never finished a game and thought that was rubbish because it was too short. I've never ever thought that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I thought this game was too short. I wish it went on for twice as long, but that's because I loved it so much. Like I've never finished a game and thought that was rubbish because it wasn't longer. Yeah. I don't think there's such a thing. I think it's like music and albums. It's like if you immediately want to rewind it and play it again, that you've done your job.
Absolutely.
You've absolutely done what you set out to achieve, and the same is with games. If the amount of games I played recently, which were like between 2 or 4 hours long, and I finished them, and the second that the credits are rolling, I want to start it and play it again. That is the correct length of game.
I mean, yeah.
Like I don't really get that attitude, and it's like people are just bored and they're trying to fill up their time, and it's like, oh, well, my time is worth this amount of money. Like, solve this problem of my boredom.
I know,
That's
exactly,
not what games should be, man. Like, they're experiences.
I feel like I'm being frozen out of the high quality. I say high quality, I mean high production value. AAA type things. I feel like I'm frozen out of those because development studios are saying, if we push out a game that's like less than 60 hours, then people are going to think we're really taking the piss. And if we do that, then we can't charge like $80 for a game. And it's and it's like no. What these games that I absolutely love, some of the best games, like BioShock. I really liked the first BioShock game. I think it was about 24, 25 hours or something I stuck into it. All the Mass Effect games I can bang through in 25 hours-ish. And that's about the upper level of where I can really do a complete game and get to the end and feel like I've satisfied it. And I just wish that that more people would be willing to not look as a game that was sub 60 hours as being like they were being ripped off, because I think I've already seen there's a lot of people talking on the internet about like what you were talking about, Bobby, the other week, about open world fatigue. And I've got my own issues, which are very selfish and particular to my circumstances, why open world games don't work for me. But I've heard a lot of people are saying open world games are just diluting the story element of what we're doing. They're great for people that love exploring, and those people that love exploring have often felt like they've had a bit of a shaft. They've had to go to an MMO, which perhaps doesn't give them the right environment for doing what they want to do. But I think the wheel is turning somewhat, and people are really starting to get a bit tired of just endless sprawling games filled with stuff to fill the time in endless sprawling games, just for the sake of having endless sprawling games.
Yeah, I have to say, one thing I did appreciate about Batman was that whereas, say, in Mad Max, I've been trying to identify where the fun is.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the through line is. Just, get me through this game. I want to experience, the breadth of it, but I just show me where the fun is and what I have to do to get there. With Batman, they deliberately don't let you zoom the map out, and also they don't telegraph where the like the side stuff is. So really, the only way forwards is kind of obviously the main story. So I haven't felt like I've been sidetracked with too much.
So you kind of
shit
stumble on side stuff as you're trying to get the
Yeah.
main story done.
The only thing I did was I started the Riddler races off because they're not like for example the Riddler trophies or whatever. I haven't seen any yet. I don't know whether that gets more obvious later, but so far and there's these people you have to rescue as well, and I haven't seen any of them yet either. I think I saw the first one. But yeah, I imagine that wheel is going to fill up with stuff, isn't it? But
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, actually.
well, I've done about 4 or 5 hours in it now, and I haven't been too sidetracked. I've just been sort of rolling through the story, and that's just been
That sounds
well
like
handled.
that sounds like you're
The thing
quite
is that
early
you
in the
can
game.
ignore all that stuff. You can ignore everything but the story, pretty much.
Yeah, but that's the best stuff I think in that game. Most of it.
What, the side quests?
No, the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so slick.
So
it's so engaging.
So what you're saying, Pat, is you can ignore all the side quests if you want to and just do the story.
Yeah, you can just do
You see, that's the
story if
thing.
you want.
I think with these games, what I have a problem with is where a lot of the content is gated by you doing a certain amount of side quests. Like I was saying the other week about when we talk about Mad Max, where it was really sort of, well, no, we've invented all this world, so we're going to make sure that you see much of it before we allow you to go on. Dragon Age Inquisition did the same kind of thing. You have to earn a certain amount of bullshit points before you can move on to the next bit of the story. And I think you're not really you're forcing everyone to play in a certain way. If the game allows you to have this huge world to explore, but you choose not to explore because you want to get on with the urgent narrative, then okay, you can make a choice to miss out on the side stuff and just get the job done and still get a lot of the game done. I feel like you've completed it, and then maybe you want to play it again and do the side stuff just because you want to see what you missed out on. I have less of a problem, and maybe that's why those kind of open world games are less, garner less criticism than some of the other ones, because you're not forced into playing in a certain way.
I think it's when they sort of lure you into all that. Like, as great as Shadow of Mordor was, I felt compelled to hoover up everything in that because I wanted to have all the uber skills and stuff. But Mad Max doesn't seem to be doing that quite so blatantly, but it's obviously the case. Whereas Batman doesn't. So I would say, at least with Batman, it's kind of, there's just a through line that you can follow.
Well, kudos to Rocksteady.
Yeah, but talking of Ubi-slogs, they're opening their own theme park apparently in Kuala Lumpur.
Jesus, do you have to pay extra for the safety bars on the roller coaster?
Yeah, DLC.
Yeah, and I don't know, there must be it must be, you're going to get there and it's just going to be do you want to do this, or you can do this, or you can do this, and you're not going to know what to do.
So let's guess then. So there's going to be the one where you're roller coaster, but you're actually Altair and you're diving into the haystack. That's obviously
the haystack dive. Yeah, okay.
What else will there be?
There'll be some kind of ground-based Far Cry sort of in a jeep or something, maybe.
There'll probably be some weird VR Assassin's Creed stuff as well, I imagine, or AR stuff, or...
Yeah, I think VR is probably going to be a big part of this and the new Star Wars parks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will be.
Especially those room-sized experiences that Valve are into, and that's ILM are getting involved with as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Ubisoft, I know they've got a lot of good franchises and stuff, but a lot of them are kind of really violent.
Yeah, they are. It's not the kind of place you can take a 3-year-old, is it?
Yeah, but I think this is all part of their master plan because they've got the Assassin's Creed movie coming out next year, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's mainly going to be Assassin's Creed, isn't it? Let's face it. Because the thing is, Assassin's Creed, although it's about killing people, they'll dress it up. So's Pirates of the Caribbean. And
Oh, of course, yeah, because they could just do different time periods.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be...
You have like Victorian London,
Victorian
and then you
world
walk into
and
like
all that stuff. So it's
Yeah.
going to be... It's
Yeah.
mainly
and
gonna
all
be
this
that.
cool projector stuff as it like
Yeah.
de-reses.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you'll kind of go in and you'll go into your little animus. That'll probably be like the entrance,
Yeah.
and then you'll go off into all your little time periods. Yeah, that could be quite cool actually.
no,
Who knows?
don't buy
And
into
then,
it, Bobby.
and then you just get stabbed
Go on. Yeah.
or stab
Dunno,
someone.
Kuala Lumpur though, what a weird place to do it.
It's a weird place to open a theme park, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of money in Kuala Lumpur though.
There is
And there's
indeed.
probably less competition from proper theme parks.
True. I don't know the last time I went to a theme park. It was ages ago. But yeah. I don't know. There's a couple more news stories here. We don't have to do them though. There was this free air console service. I had a go on it. I didn't think it was very good.
I just don't buy into those.
I had a go on it. There aren't many games on it, but it is very good. It works very well.
It's cool technology.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting as like just a proof of concept, really. But the fact is, you basically load up a browser. It gives you a 6-digit number. You put that 6-digit number on the app that you download onto your iPhone or Android, and then your smartphone becomes the controller. So you play games on a browser, but you control them with a little virtual joystick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reason I thought it was impressive is because the controller, it's really low latency. It's like super responsive. So there's not really many games on it. The ones that are on there are very simple. They've obviously been made very quickly. But there's like things like a NES emulator and stuff on there. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting because that is basically the way things are going to be going.
Yeah.
That's essentially a glimpse into the future of what gaming will be. But yeah, it's interesting and it works quite well, even if it's like I say, it hasn't got many games and stuff at the moment. It's a proof of concept. It's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I tried it out like just on my MacBook Air at work and just did it with my phone, and I was playing like a Bomberman game.
Yeah,
It was like, wow, and someone else could just get their phone and just put the code in as well, and they could be playing 2-player.
yeah,
So that's pretty nifty. Like just that being that seamless, I suppose is very, very
and
impressive.
it's really quick to set up. It's just no faffing about.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be really interesting when we see things like PlayStation Live and whatever services turn up in the future, which allow not only streaming but things like this where you've got more kind of high end browser gaming that you can just play anywhere. I think it's pretty cool.
It is indeed. I'll tell you what isn't cool though is I'm feeling almost suffocated by the amount of Destiny advertising.
Oh. Yeah, I know what you mean. Everyone on Facebook is posting their
I haven't
personal
seen any.
stories or something. I haven't looked at any of them, those, but it's like, do you think there might be something happening with Destiny? Some kind of change?
Is there loads of TV ads or something then?
It's just because I think it's because I was watching a bunch of Eurogamer footage from TGS
right.
today.
There's loads of
and
posters
every one
up in
of
the
them,
tube for it too.
yeah, every one of them had an ad for this Taken King expansion. The thing is, basically, when Destiny came out, was it last year or the year before?
It was last year.
It was a bit of a damp squid, I think. Everyone was like, "Where's all the content?" Like, got to level cap really quickly, but so many people
like
just
every
kept.
MMO ever.
Well, yeah, but so many people kept grinding in it. I think it's a unique phenomenon actually because it's like got a console-sized user base. Apparently, 20 million people are playing this game, and which is massive. That dwarfs even World of Warcraft. And it's a console-led thing, so I guess it's got a lot more marketing and PR behind it. So yeah, it's just becoming this massive big deal. But
But it was also the
really
Bungie connection was a big seller, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose they have a pedigree.
They've got
I suppose.
they've got in console land. Bungie are like Naughty Dog, aren't they?
Well, yeah. I thought Naughty Dog were Naughty Dog.
Yeah, but I mean they've got that
No,
kind
in
of level
console
of
land,
gravity.
but-
Or maybe they're
yeah.
like Valve or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I
If you want
suppose.
to
Yeah,
compare them
they've
to
kind
real
of.
gaming platforms.
Yeah.
Sorry, console friends. I will be joining you if my kids behave themselves. So take that with a pinch of salt.
At the mercy.
At the mercy of
Your
my
offspring.
children's. Yes.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, the point of mentioning Destiny is that there's rumours that it might be coming to PC. There always have been, to be honest, but there was a job opening for a PC tester. But whether that means just actually playing it on a PC that they make it with, or actually for a version that they're going to put on PC, it's a bit vague.
Well, my interest level is about the same, no matter which of those options turns out to be true.
I tell you the reason Destiny's such a big deal is that basically they were very early on in the cycle, and they had no competition. If they put that out on PC, they know they would have so much shit to deal with, like so much competition.
Yes.
Like so many other free-to-play shooters, like Overwatch, Team Fortress, all that other stuff. Well, none of that was on PS4, was it?
No.
So
No.
that's why it's done really well.
And there's a very heavy and entrenched MMO user base already on PC that are very quick to tear apart absolutely anything new and completely shit all over it, which is what they seem to do with every MMO game that ever comes out.
Yeah, and Destiny has the whole MMO, carrot and stick thing going on as well, which has kept their user base entrenched in it. So good for Destiny.
Good for them.
I'm just feeling a little bit suffocated by all this Taken King nonsense, and especially Polygon. Oh my god, they were responding purely to their audience, but it's like every other news story they put out is about Destiny. It's like, ugh, really? Is that all we've got?
Well, with a user base of 20 million, I suppose you can't just ignore it, can you?
No, I feel like it's Activision being evil again.
Large gaming corporations.
It's like they bought Blizzard and went, oh, welcome to the dark side. Although Blizzard already knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. They've got a bit of pedigree in that area.
Yeah. Anyway, that's about it, I think. This has been the Not Playing Podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk, where you can hear myself and Ian also talk about movies and TV on the Not Watching podcast, and also a bunch of funny guys, Adam, Ash and Will, talk about lots of funny stuff on the Not Listening podcast.
It's not me, so it will be funny.
Yeah, the other Adam, who runs our sort of network or whatever it is. If you want to get in touch with the show, please do on notplayingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. You can find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk, and if you're listening to us on iTunes, then please do give us a review. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Bye, everybody.
I suck at Call of Duty.